All right, this next video is really exciting. It's from somebody I've never watched before. It came out 1 day ago, and it's from Crash Academy Network. These were like the original. These guys have made videos since Star Citizen has come out, and they got an interview with Dan Trufin at CON42, and this may add to what we've already heard from CON42 at the bigger Q&A with Dan. So let's see where this goes. I'm excited for this.
All right. Thank you so much for
Whoa, dude, his hair's super long. I haven't seen him in forever.
agreeing. We were here with Dan Trufin. And it's actually, I think, I've been with this project for 8 years, but it's actually, I think, the first interview I've done with you right now.
Yeah, I think it is the first.
Yeah,
I don't think we did one.
No, I don't know why we didn't have the chance before, but thank you so much for agreeing here. So, first question for the whole community. Because things are constantly changing at Cloud Imperium Games, what is actually your job title right now?
My job title is and has been for like the last 2+ years, Assistant Design Director for PU Content.
All right, so you're basically all about the
Assistant Design Director for PU Content. Nice.
persistent universe.
That's a long name.
Yes, everything about the persistent universe with focus on the EU-PU team and the content. And
Dan was at CitizenCon or Gamescom in Germany when I was there, and he was so nice. I didn't know him at the time because he wasn't actively in videos or anything yet. I didn't know what he did. He never really shared, like, he didn't like have an ego or anything. He was just there hanging out, having a good time, and he was just such a good guy. And the way he's interacted with the community over the years has been, he's been a breath of fresh air in so many ways.
content teams are basically level design and mission design, mission content design.
Okay, so one, we always like to do some little unusual questions. What is your favorite part about this position, this job you have?
Exactly what I called before. It allows me to have both control of the features that are getting built for PU and the content built for PU. It's very hard to build content without having access to the features and making sure the features are built in the way that content needs them. At the same time, when you build a feature, it's very annoying that you build a feature and there's no time for people to implement the content for that feature. I'll give an example. When we built mining the first time, we had to use the people that were building the feature to also do the content, the spreading of the minables in the universe. That took a lot of time, and it delayed us from doing cooler mining features.
Doing interviews at conventions, yeah, not easy. What content? I think he's referencing like what we have now. The way the minables have been spread forever has been, anybody who mines would argue that it's not been ideal. And I think changes are coming that people are pretty hyped about, so. That is super loud.
Okay, fine. At least you were like almost finished with your answer when you.
I think I got it almost all in, but
Yeah.
So you were talking about the mining.
Yeah, I was talking about the mining. So it's with mining, we had to spend a lot of time building content using the feature people, which meant they couldn't develop further mining improvements because they had to work on the content. Now we have content people that will distribute minables everywhere in the universe, while the programmers and the system designers can focus on improving mining or any other feature.
Sam is the one who distributes the stuff around, and he's been really, really cool.
was the same with salvage.
And I'm super excited to
we
see what
have a
happens
team
with
of
319
people
with
who
it.
spread salvage content
Exciting.
throughout the universe, and the other team that builds the actual feature, builds the UI, builds the code of how the gameplay works.
Yeah, all right, okay, cool. Actually, mining was one of the, I'd say, milestones when it comes to features to Star Citizen, especially not because mining is something very a lot of people really enjoy doing in the space game, but also because a lot of people we talked to were actually astonished about this mechanic behind the mining, because it's thrilling, it's interesting, and same with salvage. Is there anything in the future you're looking forward to as well as mining was?
There's a lot of things I'm looking forward.
Probably resource management.
In general, what we try to do is close gameplay loops. We started with mining. We did a bit of station refining, but what we want to do is actual ship refining, so you guys can have your own refineries going there with the prospectors. Exactly. So you run there and you have proper co-op gameplay. The prospectors will eject their sacks, the expanse will pick up the sacks, they will start refining, you pass it to a hauling ship that goes to sell that.
He said the expanse. That's interesting. So for me, I would have, and I think it's still safe to assume the first ship we refine in is only going to be the Starfarer. I don't expect to see the expanse, but maybe.
Ship will need protecting because there will be pirates trying to interfere with this. So it creates this amazing chain of events where like you can get up to, I don't know, 20, 30, 50 people joining into a giant mining operation. And we want to do the same with salvage. So if you have a big salvage field, you come with a few vultures or a reclaimer, and then you bring a refinery ships to refine whatever in the future will be refinable from salvage. Right
now, okay, that's big too. In the future, what will be refinable from salvage? He knew he wasn't supposed to say it, and he was like, "Oh, I gotta insert this caveat here," but that is something that they've at least talked about. So, I mean, listen, RMC, we know that you can craft with it. You know that they have some plans, but they had to walk it back a little bit. Yeah, agreed. But to know that they have more for the future when it comes to salvage, that's exciting.
That's one of the amazing features that we.
When we'll see that, who knows? But yeah,
refining is going to tie in all of this resource gathering, and then we're going to resource processing, which is refining. And once we're heading into crafting, you can take those resources and actually make things out of it. So it closes that entire loop. And that's
Ask it. What kind of things, Dan? What kind of things?
what I think I'm most excited about. Besides that, I think what UPU right now is working on, which is the resource networking and that entire engineering gameplay, that is going to open the playing field for a lot of multi-crew gameplay in the ships, and I think that's going to be a big game changer.
I think so too, because a lot of people actually are fans all about Star Citizen exactly because of these like multi-crew features, exactly because they want to have an engineer, they want to have a team, they want to have damage control and all this kind of stuff. And because I'm literally getting the chills around talking about it.
I'm happy.
So
that's good to see. Somebody who's been around the project forever and still gets excited about it in the same way is a good thing, I think. So, yeah, I mean I mentioned it on Twitter. The people that are seething by elements of these kind of gameplay coming in from the Star Citizen community. Oh, it's too early. Oh, it's too this. Oh, it's too that. It's kind of like, what? This is the most exciting time I've ever had in Star Citizen history is right now. All the things I've sat here and dreamed about Star Citizen being are like sort of in motion. And then Tony Z just needs to wake up, right? Once Tony Z wakes up, all the things that are in motion start to matter then.
This is, we know from the reports and stuff that this is a big feature you're working on currently. to get this resource management, resource network. So, is there a specific part you personally enjoy most about this? So, maybe a simple mechanic or something, maybe something like bigger picture.
What I enjoy playing the most in
Yeah,
the game,
yeah.
I would have to say
He's like, I don't play. Get out of here.
I enjoy flying the most. I am always amazed. I can spend half an hour, 1 hour just zigzagging between the rings of Port Olisar and doing stunt maneuvers, just doing this. I wouldn't say I'm a great dogfighter. I'm pretty shit at this.
Yeah, okay, me
But
too,
I
yeah.
just enjoy that feeling of controlling the ship just in the perfect way and just scraping by the millimeter between some obstacles.
Yeah.
We are having some amazing new asteroids coming into the game soon.
Okay.
And those have some very intricate concave shapes.
Okay,
And those are
cool.
going to
What? New asteroids, intricate concave shapes.
be amazing for stuff like this. Dogfighting around
Yeah.
those asteroids is going to be.
And the
It's
racers,
going to
right?
take some amazing precision flying. The racing is another indeed. It's another point where that is just you can. I can't fly like that.
Yeah, me neither.
I like my stunt flying. I've seen what the people do on YouTube, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah, like this. I just remember this challenge, like in Microtech, where the people like go between like this
And
monorail
And all of that started by the community. They just
Yeah.
found, hey, it would be cool to race here. It would be cool to do a loop-de-loop around this.
Do you know what my favorite thing is? Is the game was so like in a funny like way is the game struggled for so many years that people still love the game that they find ways to make it interesting. And then CIG is like, look, they do look what they're doing. Look at all the things that, you know, and it's like we're doing it because we're bored.
And this is where last year we kind of saw this and went like, hey, we can take this forward. And this kind of started an initiative of, hey, how can one, we do some time trial stuff, but we start building the support for future racing in Star
Yeah.
Citizen. And ideally, I think the goal is to make it player-driven and player-generated, because I think you guys can generate way cooler races than we can and find all this
Really?
nice environment as long as we give you guys.
I think he's right because you're gonna have to. I don't want to see it that go. I don't want to see racing go there completely. I still think that there should be like an official in-game, in-lore racing league. The top league, the best pilots should compete. Like the Murray, exactly. The Murray Cup is in the game, in the lore. The Murray Cup tracks should be static. They should be in-game, and they should somehow... Yeah, I don't know how to say it, but I think that I don't want that to be in the players' hands, right? I think, yeah, making certain tracks, whatever. I think XGR and other racing leagues have shown their insane capabilities of, if they were given the tools, what they can pull off. And then, yeah, maybe we go from there and see where it is. But like, think of the Murray Cup. What should that look like in Star Citizen? How should that work? Yeah. So I do think it's really good to give these guys the tools and see where they go. And I think that they'll hit heights higher than where CIG can because they're dedicated specifically and only to that. But I do think that there should be like CIG official Murray Cup races somehow. I just don't know how that would work exactly and what that would look like.
The tools.
Yeah,
I just know I want
it's
it.
a swarm, right? Like doing this and finding out where the hotspots are. And I actually loved when we noticed that like you guys picked up on what the community did and like, okay, let's do it a little better. Let's feature that.
Well, we did certain things where I wouldn't say shamelessly copied, but we gave a nod to what was done there, and we also did a few new things where the designers just went like, no, I'm gonna build my own thing. We gave them a task where it was like, yeah, we need a few to be from the community, the things that the community did, we're gonna make those right, but also
snake pit, stuff like that.
Half like this. So we just also gave them freedom, and this is gonna be where we will be making our own, but we also want to give you guys more and more tools to.
Good to hear. Okay, good.
Yeah, cool. So, final question for now. Is there anything in the future? It doesn't have to be like from your department. So, anything about Star Citizen that you are personally looking forward to having in the game? For me, like for example, it's gonna be like the outpost construction, the like building like little outposts for yourself.
He's like smiling like, buddy, that's not for at least another 10 years. Relax, okay?
Oh,
this will be coming. It's already in the works. As you guys know, we've been working on Outposts for Pyro for quite a while. As Pyro goes live, those are going live with Pyro. And they're going to be, I think, a big game changer compared to anything the old Outposts did. It's a completely different thing.
Okay. This is not what you think it is. No chance. I have no information here, but I think that this is a bit of a misunderstanding. And I think just like miswording from Dan. I think he means their tools. I don't think he means our tools. Right? There's the tools we have to make outposts, namely, the big Pioneer ship and the Rastar tool or whatever. They are using the Rastar tool. He is clearly talking about his own, but I did see like one person pog and get excited. That is not us crafting our own. He like zoomed in and stuff. I think he may think that it's coming in Pyro.
Das Wolfpack und Spectre, also 13, 15, 16 sind noch zur Anmeldung. Dankeschön.
It's not your fault. Okay, here we go. He's finished, I think. Yeah. So the new outposts you were talking about
so the new outposts already are going to be on a completely different level compared to the old outposts, but where this is going to shine post Pyro release, we will be looking at getting player-owned outposts and how you guys can build those. We're already researching new styles for these.
We'll look into it.
We want to keep
the
outposts on Pyro NPC driven, and we want to give you guys a completely different thing. The outposts on Pyro are built in a certain way that shows history. They've been built by some people hundreds of years ago, and they look like that.
Okay. Yeah.
We don't want players to build something that looks 400 years old.
Okay.
It's a bit unnatural. So we're gonna give you brand new shiny styles of outposts.
Brand new shiny.
Are gonna have wear and tearing as the fight. You're going to have more fights in there. They're going to get more damage. And they're going to look a bit more rugged. And they're going to have their own charms and history. But initially, you'll be building them pristine. And this is definitely something that will be coming down the line. And I think, is going to be a game changer.
Yes, I think so too.
We're looking into starting small with the outpost and then building bigger and bigger because we realize organizations have their own needs. It's not just single players that have a need for this. It's also organizations. And if you build 2 rooms and a bathroom for an organization of 500 people, it's a bit crowded. So we're looking into what facilities does an organization actually need and kind of catering towards that.
We won't know what facilities organizations need until you create reasons for organizations to play, right? That would be my one thing about where we are right now is I love the direction we're going in, and I don't think you can make informed decisions on what organizations need right now, though.
But that will be coming further down the line.
Further down the line.
Outposts and growing and learning from what we do here.
Good.
This
Dan's
is so good.
I'm
very much looking forward to like finally going to my Pioneer and then like trying to build something out there in the open space. So it's very, very great to hear that you're already like looking at it.
I'm really glad.
It's great to hear they're thinking about it. Like that is the Star Citizen backer right there. Just so naive. It's so funny. I'm so happy to hear you're thinking about it, guys. They've been thinking about it for as long as they've talked about it. It doesn't matter until there's action, right? And to be fair to them, the first step in the action is the Rastar tool for themselves. They've always said that that was the plan, and as far as I can remember, at least, that's sort of been the plan for Outposts. Is they're going to make them using the tool, and then we'll make them using the tool. So it is funny. It is a bit of Star Citizen backer naivety, but the hopefully the end goal is good. We'll see.
What makes you happy is what we're actually looking to at in the future. So that's going to be really cool.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for
Thanks
taking the time. Thank you so much, and well, enjoy the con. You're gonna have your panel right now.
I wonder what his
think,
days are
In
like.
a few minutes.
10 minutes, something like
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
I wonder what his days are like. Like, get in, and he's got his hands on so many things, right? He's just so important and so paramount to this game being good. He's one of the more interesting people from the Star Citizen community. It is one of the things that I do find interesting about like watching game develop or watching the game develop and watching game development is how important certain people seem to be to the things that are exciting to you versus like sometimes we're like, oh man, the audio guy is going to be on SCL this week. Who cares? You know what I mean? But if it's Dan, you're like, Dan, let's go. You know, we're going to hear about all the things that we get to interact with. And yeah, it's been really exciting. So fingers crossed on some of that stuff, specifically everything he talked about around resource management, I guess, crafting, refining, all that stuff seems very much actively in development and not super far down the line. And I want to play with that.